I tell you, it literally feels like the entire book community is just holding their breath and waiting for this book. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. We are back with another weather forecast of upcoming books coming out in March and April. And it is a stacked couple months, y'all. Some of my most anticipated reads are coming out over the next 2 months. It's gonna be an exciting time. So let's just get right into it. There's so much to talk about. First, in March, on March 4th, we have 3 incredible books coming out. I've only read one of them, but I already know the other 2 are also incredible. Everybody and their mother has been waiting for this book. On March 4th, we finally get Oathbound by Tracy Deonn. This is the 3rd book in the Legendborn cycle. If you haven't read Legendborn yet, what are you doing? Go read Legendborn, go read Bloodmarks, and then by March 4th, Oathbound is out. And I'm so excited for this book. I don't think I've talked to anybody who has an arc of this book. I'm actually pretty positive there were no physical arcs of this book at all. I don't even know if there were electronic arcs. When I tell you, it literally feels like the entire book community is just holding their breath and waiting for this book. And for good reason. Legendborn, Tracy is an incredible writer. Legendborn and Bloodmarked were astonishing. They were excellent, just pure excellence. And Oathbound, like the teasers that have been coming out, oh, I can't wait. I don't think anyone can wait. We're just March 4th. I should take the day off work or something because I'm gonna have to sit and read. Also on March 4th, we have 2 other books. First is Solving for the Unknown by Lone Lee. If you've heard of the romantic contemporary a Full Love Story, it's also by Lone Lee. I love that book when it came out, so I heard Lone was writing another one. This one is called Solving the Unknown. I do have an arc of this one I need to get to. I love a good rom-com. And then last, I actually do have this book that's coming out. The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. I had an opportunity to read an early copy of this, and obviously I have by the way, this is first edition, not special edition, first edition, so if you ordered the first printing of this book, this is what it looks like. I had the amazing opportunity to read an early copy of this book, and obviously get an early finished copy. Thank you, get underlined. Incredible. Now, it is no secret that I love this author's other books. If you remember my reactions to, the book's right here. Song of Silver Flame, A Curse So Dark. These YA titles mess me up all the time because they're just so long. Dark Star Burning, Ash Falls White is a sequel to her duology, and it destroyed me last year because I cried my eyes out at the end of it. Casually, I love her writing, and this book is so good. All the teasers you see about the hot demon guy and all this stuff is true. 100% true. This book is so good. I think I gave this 4.5. There was just the tiniest thing off for me. Truly, this was just me being a reviewer. As an enjoyer of books, excellent. You're not gonna regret picking this one up. And also just so pretty. And the final book coming out in March, another one that we've all been eagerly anticipating, Sunrise on the Reaping. We are finally getting Haymitch's story for the Hunger Games series, or the world. Once again, I don't know anyone who's gotten an arc of this book. I don't know anyone who's read it early. I think we're all just collectively waiting until it's out to read it. Another day I should take off work so I can read it properly. I have never been one to actively champion or want more Hunger Games books. Obviously, I love the Hunger Games. That series was a significant portion of my childhood. I think the Hunger Games are often treated in the media, online by people, as a lot lighter than they actually are, and it's okay to some point, right? There's some nuance to this conversation, which maybe this conversation is suited for a whole other video, not just this video, so I'll keep it short. But the books themselves and the actual concept of what's going on, you saw it in the promos for the Hunger Games movies, and the Hunger Games movies were coming out when I was in middle school, so I noticed it even then. Very quickly how it turned into a Team Gale, Team Peeta type of thing, when that's not the point of the books, and that's definitely not the intention of the author. If anything, we were acting as, and I say we because I'm sure at the age of how old was I in middle school? 13, 12. I was participating in this as a child. We're at that point playing the role of the Capitol, and this harrowing story has become entertainment. This is not the place for this discussion, but once I get going. So I am so excited for Sunrise and the Reaping, and I'm so excited to see Haymitch's story. And I remember even I was talking to some friends when this book was announced and the movie got announced right away. I was I'm happy as a fan, but also I'm like, I think Suzanne, I want to say, don't quote me, I think she said she wouldn't write a book unless there was like a time for it. Like, she, obviously with how intense and deep her books are, there's an intention behind them. They often reflect our realities and our criticisms of our society. So I'm excited for it, but I've never been one to champion, oh, write more Hunger Games, because I'm aware of that the books are commentary on society. I feel like I'm not wording this right. Like, the books are commentary on our society, and they convey that through this very tragic and violent and intense cycle you see. Like, the Hunger Games are literally children fighting to the death, right? I picked up on that when I went and watched Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in theaters, and I remember, like, you left the movie theater with this, like, harrowing feeling in your gut. Like, it's terrible to watch. Little children killing each other. So as much as I always want more Hunger Games content, because I'm a fan of the series and I'm a fan of the author's work, it's like, I understand when there isn't. I'll leave it at that. I think I'm going to say that. That was way more than I intended to say about this. I do feel like that's a whole other video, like, that I would have to, like, sit and collect my thoughts on and, like, say it properly. That's a lot more nuanced than just, like, a simple opinion. Moving on to April. April 1st, two also very exciting books coming out. First is Holy Terrors. If you've seen a lot of my content recently, I recently got to meet Margaret Owen in person. I don't know if you noticed. I never stopped talking about it. It was wonderful. She was lovely. I have a whole YouTube video about it. I got my book signed. I got my arc of Holy Terrors. Today is March 18th as I'm filming. March 18th. Today's February 18th as I'm filming this. I will definitely read Holy Terrors before it comes out. I was just talking to Stevie, my friend, who's also online at Stevie Reads, just a shout out. And she was really recommending that I read the follow year first. Margaret put that out on AO3. I think that's how you say that out loud. So it's like short stories I'm going to read before I read the third book, but super excited for that to be out. Also on April 1st, we have Who the F Wants to Know. I love, first of all, Huda Fahmy. I love all her books. I love the Huda F series. This is the third book in the series. I've said this when the last book came out. You don't necessarily have to read them, like, in order. I really think the books can be picked up at any point, is my opinion. I haven't read Huda F Wants to Know yet, so don't quote me on that for that one. But the first two, like, if you read the other books, you get to know the characters and stuff, but they're very much, like, not plot connected, other than it's, like, kind of chronological of the Huda's life, Huda the character. But I love Huda's books. I love her comics. She's hilarious and so talented, and that is out April 1st. Also, big exciting day on April 15th. Wow. Okay, I'm so excited. First is The Ashfire King, which is a sequel to, what is the book's name? Stardust Thief. I think it's a sequel to Stardust Thief. Guys, I actually just completely blanked on the name of the book. It's The Stardust Thief. This is actually Songbirds. Yes, okay. The Ashfire King, which is a sequel to The Stardust Thief. If you saw me stumble and try to almost, like, basically forget the name of the book, no, you didn't. I'm definitely not filming this after a full work day and my brain is fried. That has never happened before. I don't even know what we're talking about. But I'm actually currently reading my arc of The Ashfire King. I love The Stardust Thief. You guys know how important auto rep is to me. Like, it is so important to me. I won't say more important than Muslim rep, but auto rep is always harder for me to find. So I'm constantly on the lookout for auto rep, and I love The Stardust Thief and the rep in there. Ashfire King I'm reading now. I love it so far. Not very far in. We'll update you guys when I finish, but it is incredible so far, and that is out on the 15th. Also out on the 15th, and this, guys, this is going to define my entire year, is Watch Me, which is the next book in the Shatter Me universe. Now, if you didn't know this about me, allow me to let you know that Shatter Me was a significant portion of my childhood. Like, if I talk about the YA Age of Dystopia in 2013, which, by the way, in 2013, I was 13. So this was, like, beginning of my teenage years. The books that defined me back then, obviously, like Hunger Games, Divergent. I never read Twilight or Vampire Academy during those. I read those later as an adult. What else did I get into then? Percy Jackson was a little bit before that. Oh, Marie Lu's books, Legend, and so on. And Shatter Me. Shatter Me defined my life. Like, when I tell you that there's a certain point, right, if we talk about my reading journey, I read a ton as a kid, loved reading, up until 8th grade, middle school years, age of dystopia, consuming books at an insane pace. People were like, how do you read so fast? They used to give us those quizzes in, like, elementary school. It, like, made you, like, read faster. Like, the words appeared, like, at a certain speed, and, like, I'm very competitive. So I read super fast. I was consuming books like it was water. And then I got to high school and I started taking AP classes. I feel like I've talked about this in some video or other. We're going to rehash it. Got to high school, I stopped reading. Because suddenly I'm taking AP classes and I'm doing required readings. And college, and I was just so bogged down with schoolwork, I was not reading. The one series I was still reading. Like, and you have to keep in mind, at that point in, like, high school, I'm, like, averaging, like, a book a year, 2 books a year. Like, I'm not reading for pleasure. The only series I was still reading was Shatter Me, because at some point, Dahara announces that she's releasing 3 more books in the Shatter Me series, and I'm like, I'm sad. Aaron Warner is the blueprint for me, by the way. Aaron Warner was, like, my first ever, like, book boy that I was, like, down bad for. The blueprint. So when Dada announced she was writing 3 more books, and I'm like, I don't even read anymore at this point, but I'm going to keep reading these books. It was literally the only series I was still keeping up with, the only books I was still pre-ordering during that phase of my life where I wasn't reading. So Watch Me is going to be so important to me this year. If you don't know, Watch Me is same Shatter Me universe. I forget how many years it's been since the, like, it picks up X amount of years after the last book in the Shatter Me series. So after Ignite Me? After Believe Me, which is the novella after Ignite Me. I don't want to say 20 years. It's not 20 years. It's an X amount of years, and it follows James, because James is all grown up now. And Dada, like, released a snippet. Released, like, a little snippet, like, I think as part of a magazine launch or something the other day on Instagram. And quite literally, it derailed my entire day. Like, I want you to understand. When I say it derailed my entire day, like, quite literally, I could not think or function in any other way the rest of the day. I have text messages. I texted Thompson. I was like, what do I do with my life now? Because quite literally, like, it just consumes me. And you see Warner and, like, a new space, and oh, it's going to be so good. Yeah. Okay. That's coming on the 15th. I don't know if you can tell. I'm very, very excited. And then on the 22nd, guys, April is so jam-packed. On this 22nd, Emily Henry, Great Big Beautiful Life comes out. I love Emily Henry. I have my little stack over here. I only buy them in paperback, and if you're like, why don't you have all of them? I only buy them in paperback. That's just personal preference. But it's out on the 22nd, so I usually end up buying the ebook or something so I can read it, obviously, before I buy it for my shelves. I love Emily Henry. Never read a bad Emily Henry book. Do I have a least favorite? Yeah, we all do. But I'm so excited for this one. Okay, and then finally, rounding out this video and the month on April 29th, we have 2 books coming out. We have Wish Upon a K-Star by Kate Cho, and it is the sequel to Once Upon a K-Prom that I have somewhere. It's in there. It's one of the blue books, because this is, like, kind of colorful. And when I see sequel, I believe it's doesn't follow the same main characters as the first book. It, like, follows other characters we were introduced to in the first book. I believe that's how it is. Going off memory here, I'm pretty sure. I loved the first book, so I got the second. I have it pre-ordered. I'm excited for it to come out. And finally, rounding out the year, rounding out April, on April 29th, we have The Floating World by Axie. This is a fantasy. I will say I have not read any of Axie's fantasies yet. She has fantasies out. I have only read her contemporaries. I've only read XOXO and ASAP. Those 2 rom-coms. Do I have ASAP? Yes, it's here too. They're, like, separated. XOXO is on that side because it's pink, and this one's more purplish blue, so it's on this side. Prettiness over logic, apparently. Apparently, I'm not the one who did it. But I've never read her fantasies before, but this one, I need to get to her others. I need to get them to them. But this sounds so good, and the cover is stunning. Like, it's actually one of the best covers I've seen this year so far, I think. I'll say that on record. So I am so excited for it to be out and to read it, and I'm excited to read a fantasy from Maxie. And that is my anticipated reads for March and April. As you can see, super stacked in terms of incredible books coming out. Like, I'm so excited. I can't even explain how excited I am. I really hope that this doesn't turn into one of those situations where all my anticipated reads comes out and they just sit on my TBR for like months. I'm gonna get to them on time this time. And I say that as I'm currently in the middle of a really bad reading slump. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So yeah, that's the video. Those are my anticipated reads. Let me know if you have any different books on your radar. If you are ordering any of these, if there's anything that should be on my radar, let me know in the comments below. That's all for today. I will see you guys next time.